You're watching news across Nigeria. Coming up in Kwara State, things are taking a turn for the better as far as petrol availability is concerned in filling stations. Stay with us.
Day and night, we are on the road, following all the stories, and it takes a lot to earn your trust, to give you the coverage you've always trusted, because no one has more experience to tell your story, to keep you informed. News at 10.
In our world, champions are made, and we celebrate them. Watch the making right here on Channel Sports. Channel Sports, only on Channels Television.
Welcome back. In the oil and gas sector, long queues are disappearing in filling stations in Ilorin, the Kwara State capital, as residents applaud the government for its efforts to tackle the challenges of fuel scarcity. Some of them, however, call for improved sanctions for airing petrol stations. The Department for Petroleum Resources in the state has said that a 63-man security committee has already been set up to check and monitor the distribution of fuel across Kwara State.
The scarcity of petrol Nigerian motorists endured during the Yuletide season appears to be letting up. In Ilorin, the Kwara State capital, most filling stations are now open for business, but some still remain on lockdown, forcing residents to battle long queues in some parts of the town. Some residents who acknowledge the improvement indicate that the government needs to continue efforts at making the product available and sold at the approved price.
Actually, we can say that's the improvement because before you buy fuel, you go and buy this Bangladesh people. But now it's just little different. But not like before that we are queuing.
Presently now, it's not in a good state, but it's far better than that of last month and even last 2 weeks. Because for now, you can see they open the door, so everybody can come in and buy their fuel. But not every filling station is selling fuel presently in Kwara State.
To address this lingering issue, the Department of Petroleum Resources in the state held a press briefing where the Controller of Operations reviewed the agency's plan to combat smuggling activities.
In collaboration with the Kwara State government and all the federal security agencies domiciled in Kwara, we had a meeting and there was a general consensus to put up a security task force that will stand up against various nefarious activities that are inimical to seamless supply and distribution of petroleum products in the state.
Normalcy is returning to this sector, albeit at a slow pace. Hopefully, this calm is here to stay.
The Nigerian Society of Engineers is calling on the federal government to invest more in the growth of local engineers so they can contribute to the country's infrastructural development. Now, this advice was given by the chairman of the Cross River State branch of the society, Mr. Ensted Akondom, after visiting the bad portion of roads linking Calabar-Dukpani, recently awarded to a member of the society.
Nigerian engineers can do wonders with anything if you give us opportunity. And the big question is, where did you expect us to learn how to do the work? We learn it in Nigeria. You won't expect US to come and train your engineers for you. We make engineering work after all the science, and we do trial by error. You fail, you wake up, you learn from from the field. You cannot expect to get experience from the air. So it is compulsory that any nation that wants to grow must allow their engineers handle their infrastructures. If they handle your infrastructures, if they fail, they will learn from failing. We always want to go for ready-made, which is not even proper, and at the end of the day, they are not even actually ready-made.
Finally, the Ogun State government has commenced the enforcement of the water abstraction law, which compels companies extracting water from boreholes for commercial purposes to pay a sum of money to the state government. At a meeting with members of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria in Abeokuta, the state capital, the Commissioner for Commerce and Industry reiterates that the enforcement of the law was effective from October the 23rd, 2017, and affected companies must comply.
There's need for us to mediate and resolve these things once and for all. They were claiming we are not legally backed to do this, and we told no, we have the legal. What you need to talk about is negotiation. Negotiate for the rate so that things will be done. And luckily, the Attorney General, has actually explained everything to them that legally we are backed by law to collect these funds. But the point is that now negotiate for the rate, and which is okay, which makes sense, and that's what we are talking about. So, but the fact that they were thinking that, oh, it is not possible, that's what we're trying to resolve. And that's why I said we should have this meeting, and we have the Attorney General, the Commissioner for Environment, and the stakeholders, so that we can all meet together and resolve this issue. And I'm happy that we are getting to somewhere, and it's been resolved. They formed the technical committee, and I thank the Attorney General for coming in to explain the legality of these things. Where I say that we want to continue to create that environment for business to thrive, the condition was conducive for them to make them happy. But at the same time, they cannot run foul of the law. They must be able to pay.
And that's where the curtains fall for this edition of News Across Nigeria. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Olumide Macaulay.